Hey man, I'm just trying to name my podcast, but I don't know what to call it. What do you think? Have you tried those name generators? They're pretty cool. You just put in a little information about your show and then it just spits out a whole bunch of names for you. What do you think of that? They're okay. They're not my favorite because they tend to not really get the nuance of what goes into a naming convention. There are automated tools that do a good job, but I want you to be careful with that because you really want to position your show in the right way. That way you can start attracting the right audience. Does that sound good to you? Yeah, it sounds awesome. What do I have to do? I got to give you money. No money, completely free, and I'm going to show you what goes into it. Sound good? Let's watch. If you're trying to name a podcast, I just want to show you guys some research that I did because it really is a personal statement. Whatever you're going to name your show, it's a very personal statement, okay? And when you're going about doing this, it's very difficult to come up with a name, or at least for me, it was, okay? I had to actually do this week for a company name. I needed to make a decision. I had to do it like immediately if I wanted to get paid. So I was on the spot, had to pick a name, basically a gun to my head, and I just had to make a decision. And when you're trying to start a podcast, picking a name can really be a huge barrier to getting it done because you want it to fit. You want it to make that strong impression. You want it to be searchable. You want it to set the tone for the show. It's going to be tied to your identity. It means a lot to you. You really need to pick something that's fitting for what you're trying to create. And that can be really hard to deal with when you're trying to pick a name. Okay. So, really quick, I want to show you guys an example podcast that I think did an excellent job. And then I'll show you guys a tool that I'm using that I think will help you a lot. And it's completely free. So, let's take a look here. Okay. So, you could go with different types of podcast names, right? Creative and abstract, descriptive, named after host. Now, you have to be careful with this. Okay. Number 3 here, named after host. If you're not a known person, if you have no following whatsoever, this does not apply to you because nobody is searching for your name. Joe Rogan, people search for his name because they know him as a stand-up comic for the different stuff that he's done. Okay. So if you have no name, then this does not apply to you. Okay. Descriptive, I think that is probably the best way to go if you're trying to start and you have zero audience because that is where you're going to pick up the search terms, the people that are actively looking for the type of show that you offer. Creative and extract, it's okay. It's not my favorite because it can be a little bit confusing for somebody finding your show. Okay, think about it this way. People are scrolling really quickly, and if they don't know you and they don't know what the show is, you need a scroll stopper. You need a reason for them to actually engage with your show, whatever that is. Okay, so if it's unclear what the show is, 20,000 hertz, 99% invisible, this doesn't mean anything to anybody except for you. So your audience is probably going to be zilch. Okay, so we want to look at descriptive because that is actually going to get people in that are searching for your type of show. And I want to show you exactly what I mean with Crime Junkie. Okay, they have, I think it's the largest true crime podcast that's out there. Okay, and the reason why they do so well, one of the best reasons why, is the name. Okay, Crime Junkie, right? They're obsessed with true crime and they're junkies for it. Okay, simple, easy to remember, and what their show does is actually a genius move in terms of traffic because what they're going for is the different true crime cases out there. Okay, so if we were to, I'm just showing you guys a keyword tool that I use here, but Sharice Walker Bingham, okay, there's a story that goes to this, right? They're seeking justice 12 years after somebody was murdered, okay? So they're going through news stories, finding these true crime stories, and then they're creating a podcast about it, okay? So you can see here, they're at the top of the results, part 1, part 2, okay? And then you click on it and it actually goes to their website and shows you the episode and details about what is relating to the actual case, okay? Like they give you the map and they give you different resources, okay? Now, they're not always solved crimes. Sometimes it's just open-ended stuff, but they're doing a great job because these are searched for. Again, this is a keyword tool. Per month, there's a ton of volume that people are looking up Tamla Horsford, 24,000 searches a month. There's a lot of people doing that, okay? So how would you go about doing this for your show? Well, the easiest way to do it is to use Google. Coming up with a comedy show, then talk about comedy, find different things relating to comedy, right? So like, for instance, let's say you were doing a comedy podcast and you're a fan of Theo Von. You could do Theo Von reaction videos where you're actually reacting to whatever it is that he's put out. And when you do stuff like that, what you're going to do is you're going to start tagging yourself for his people, okay? And that's kind of the idea. Now, are you going to name your show after him? Absolutely not. We need to come up with something that is relating to comedy, funny, different stuff like that. Let's actually pop over to the tool that I made completely free. There's going to be a link down below, or you could just scroll down and you'll see it. This is my podcast name generator. I worked really hard on it. I spent like all day working on it. And why it's different from other name generators out there is it's not just going to throw back a bunch of names based on like two things, okay? There's actually an AI backend to this thing. I have an API key in it and everything, so it costs a little money to run it, completely free. And what it does is it actually gives you all the considerations for what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and then it's going to come up with the name. So it's going to give you a really high quality name with that. So let's say we're doing comedy specific. Let's just do stand-up comedy, news, right? Think like Tim Dillon type things, okay? What is the overall tone or vibe? Sarcastic, witty, funny, edgy, okay? Who's your target audience? People who like to laugh, people interested in news, engaged folks, okay? Any specific keywords or concepts? We're going to put in news, politics, comedy, TV, streaming, sports, right? We just want to cover like a very large array of things on our show, on our stand-up comedy show, okay? Obviously, we'll put in stand-up, click generate names. Now it's going to go to work, and it's not going to just give you the names. So watch this, okay? It's going to actually come up with a couple names. So like headline punchlines, right? Daily roast, control delete, laugh track, right? Seriously kidding, okay? It's actually going to also talk to you about each one. So like, you know, why it chose this, right? So if you don't like those, you just click generate new names, and it's going to go to work and it's going to make you new names, okay? It's pretty awesome. We could do like seriously, unfiltered news and laughs, whatever. Now, what else is cool about this tool is it's actually going to do a check for you. It's going to check the major services to see if the name is already taken. It's going to check YouTube. It's going to check Instagram and TikTok. And it's even going to check for the domain name for you, okay? So what you do down here is you proceed to availability checks. It's going to run the check based on the shows that we chose, okay? So once that processes, it's going through, it's using the API on the back end, it's checking everything, okay? It's a lot of work going on in the background. All right, now we've got our short lists, okay? So these are the names that we liked, right? Seriously, a comedy news dumpster fire uses sarcasm and hyperbole to describe the news, right? Dumpster fire, while highlighting the comedic approach. The question mark adds an edgy and engaging element, implying a cynical yet humorous perspective. I mean, that's not bad. Unfiltered news and laughs, it's pretty much on the nose, directly communicates the two main core concepts, uncensored news and humor, right? Again, think like Tim Dillon, if you know who he is. He's a comedy, he's got a comedy channel and absolutely hilarious. And then what it does is it actually does a domain check, right? So it's checking the .com, the .net, all this stuff so that you can start your website, so you can start creating content sort of like these guys, right? Crime Junkie. Each one of these crimes is an actual blog post, okay? Each blog post has the information, has the podcast episode, right? Background information. Each one of these. Show you this one too. Right? Murdered, the episode, the people, like the players, the people in it. And again, you put in the resources relating to your show. So if you're doing a show about unfiltered news and laughs, you can actually start creating blog posts for all that news, what's going on, current events, all kinds of stuff like that. I know he's an unpopular person these days, but Alex Jones actually does a really good job of this because of his news platform, right? Regardless of how you feel about him, he's got a huge following on the different platforms, and he sends everybody to his news site. On the news site, there's news, there's blog posts, there's all this stuff, okay? And what he does is the same thing as what they're doing, and what a lot of other popular websites do is that they're creating content around their niche, okay? So you would definitely want to get a website, and then you can also do Spotify check, okay? Now I need to fix this, and I'm going to fix this, but basically what it's going to do is it's going to check if the show exists on Spotify, and I worked it yesterday. It does work. It'll just say that the name's taken or not. Again, it's also going to check the social media platforms. It's going to check Twitter. It's going to check all these things, and you can just click this, and it's going to show you if it exists or not. And then also, it's even going to link you out to the trademark search, so you can actually check if there's a trademark for this already, yes or no. You just literally go here and you can type in whatever the show is. So we put unfiltered news and laughs. You just copy this, and right here it's going to actually do the search for you, and it's going to show you any trademarks relating to this, right? So if you wanted to make this your business name, your LLC or whatever, you'd want to definitely use this tool to check if it exists. So it doesn't exist, you'd probably be good to go, and you could start your show. And then down here, you can like literally grab web hosting, grab podcast hosting, and get started. So if you like this, check it out, check out the link, and yeah, good luck.